Hello, Ms. Buchanan's Algebra 1A. I'm taking a look at the rest of the slope-intercept form worksheet. This actually was given to you on the 16th. Today's the 18th, and I'm going to pick it up where I left off, but I wanted to show you, just some of the answers for the odd ones in case you didn't see that previous video. I would go back to the previous video for explanations as to, how we come about these answers. Because I got to move on to the second half, what you guys worked on today. So I do have a video on this page from the 16th. So it's just the previous video. Today, you were working on this part. So 19 on, I want to take a look at. And let's take a look at how this all works. Remember, we have the formula y equals mx plus b, where whatever is with the x is the slope, represented by the letter m here. And b is the y-intercept. Okay, what that means, the y-intercept, see this y-axis? It's where the graph of this line, this equation is for a line, where you plug in coordinates, your x and y coordinates, and you connect the dots and make a line. This is where this line intersects this y axis. So it's at -4. So I go to y where it's -4 and I put a point. And that's going to be my starting point. So I kind of look at these backwards. I look at the last number first. So -5 I go, or -4 I go to. Okay. Now the slope, what's with my x in this equation that, remember, in our slope-intercept form equation, what's with the x is going to be what's called my slope. Remember, slope is rise over run. Okay, so we have a rise 1/5, but it's a negative. So being negative means it's going to go down 1/5. And by over, we're always going to be reading a graph that way. Okay, so I'm going to go down 1 because it's negative, and then over 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to put a point there. So we just use the lines on the graph in order to do that. And if the lines on the graph are by ones, which these are, I go down 1 and over 5 because of -1/5. Okay. I also went ahead and I got a previous dot. Remember, this is going to be a straight line. So in order for me to make kind of a straighter line, I figured, well, from this point, what's the point that came before? Okay. Well, I counted back 5 and I went up 1, so that from this point to this point, it's down 1/5, down 1/5. Okay. And then I just used a straight edge to make that line. All right, now 20 might be a little difficult for you because you don't see anything back here. There is no y-intercept. There is no plus or minus anything back here. So when there's nothing there, that means we're starting at 0. y0, there's nothing. Nothing is equal to 0. My slope, I do have something with the x. So this is up 1/5, the rise over the run. So I'm going to go up 1/5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. If I wanted, and I could just make my line like that, and you're done. But, me being a teacher, I want to be a little more thorough. What would the previous number be, or the point be? So I'm going to go down 1 and back 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that from this point, if I go up 1 and over 5, I'm at my original point. So I'm going to connect these, and they don't have to be perfectly straight. It doesn't have to be an art project, but that would be like your number 20. Okay. Number 21, my y-intercept is +1, so I put a point at +1. Then I start working with my slope, -2. This means when you just see a whole number like that, put it over 1 so you could see the rise over run. Negative 2 over 1, if you were to put that in your calculator, is just negative 2. So just to show you what I'm talking about here. Negative 2 over 1. See negative 2 over 1? It equals, it's just negative 2. It means the same thing, okay? But I put it over 1 so I could see, okay, that's my rise over run. So I'm going down 2 over 1. So down 2 over 1. I do it again, down 2 over 1. I can do it again, down 2 over 1, just to kind of make my line a little bit straighter. And there you have it. There's the graph of that line. Try 22 on your own. 23. My y-intercept is a +1, so I start at +1 on the y-axis. And then my slope is 3. Remember, put it over 1, so you can see the rise over the run. In your calculator, if you were to put 3 over 1, or 3 divided by 1, it would just be 3 anyway, so it's the same number. So it goes up 3 over 1, so up 3 over 1. Okay, from this point behind, up 3 over 1. So I just counted down 3 and back 1, down 3 and back 1, so that from point to point, I'm going up 3 over 1, up 3 over 1. You always read a graph from left to right, going that way. Okay, so this is going up. Number 25, I'm going to start at -5. So I start at -5. And I'm going to go up 6 over 5. So up 6 over 5. That's about all I could fit on this graph, so I just connected those two dots and I'm done. For number 27, my y-intercept was -3. I started down here. And then notice my slope is -7 over 2. So I go down 7 over 2, down, I can't. There's not enough room. So I had to figure out, well, what one from over here would be down 7 and over 2 to this one. Well, I went up 7 and back 2, put a point there, because from this point to this point, reading from left to right, reading this way, I'm going down 7 over 2. Okay, so that's my point that I want. And I just connect those. That's all I could fit on that one. All right. Let me just show you another one just for the heck of it. Let's pick out this middle one here, 26. My y-intercept, -2. So I find -2 on my y-axis, and I start there. Then my slope is up 3 over 2. Up 3, 1, 2, 3, over 2, 1, 2. I could get another dot just to make it a little bit nicer. 1, 2, 3, over 1, 2. I'm going to get the previous one too, so I'm going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3, and back 2. And remember, it always should make a straight line. For these kind of problems, you should always have those points should make a straight line. So if you're getting a point like way off, you did something wrong. All right. I really hope this helps, and good luck with the ones that I didn't do and the ones that are on your own. Go ahead. If you make mistakes, don't worry about it. Learn from them, and you're in the learning process.